Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is another edition of Away Days with Dino and another episode of my 2 cents involving the two teams which I support, involving the Arsenal and the Atlanta Falcons. This obviously is going to be about Arsenal and their latest game, which has just happened in the Champions League against PSV Eindhoven. So before I get to that, if you are listening to me on Podbean. I know I've not been on Podbean for a while. I've given the podcast a bit of a break and everything, but I'll come back to it now. And if you are watching me, then you're watching me on YouTube. So thanks for listening to me and watching me on YouTube on Dino Away Days. Yeah, so this is another edition of my 2 cents involving Arsenal FC. And yeah, just the game which I've just watched this evening, tonight, in the Champions League first leg against PSV. Very, very convincing victory. Very, very clinical. Good response to the last couple of games that we've played. Um, Arsenal have gone to the Philips Stadium and done something which I didn't think that was going to happen tonight. But um, PSV won, Arsenal 7. Um, Very, very clinical game, like I said. Very, very, very fast flowing, good response, like I said before. Very strong, quick, powerful. PSV couldn't really do much. They didn't really. They did have snippets of getting forward, but Arsenal contained them very, very well. Um, the goals in the match came from Julian Timber, Ethan Ranieri, Mikel Marino, Martin Odegaard got two, Trossard and Ricardo Calafiori. Um, just a very, very professional and solid performance from the boys tonight. Um, I don't know. It's what we want to see, especially with the last couple of games where we've been hurt. A couple of sucker punch games. The game against Forest 0-0. The game against West Ham we lost 1-0 at home. So the last couple of games we haven't scored, and it feels like they've kind of made up for it in this game. In regards to getting the goals tonight. Um, very mature, yeah, very mature, very professional. As I said before, just low cohesion, good defending, and putting their bodies out there, putting their bodies on the line. And Martin Odegaard was brilliant tonight. He gets my man of the match in this game. Um, it's always going to be a tough one. Always used to, when you go to these teams, you always want to put the crowd out of the game. And in the first 20 minutes, normally what I always say is that if Arsenal don't score and within the first 20, 25 minutes, you kind of know where the game is going to go. You kind of know they're going to kind of struggle and not know where the game's going to go at. But, in the first half an hour, they got 3-0 up. And by then, most people would probably say that the tie would not say necessarily the tie will be over, but it'd be a very, very hard mountain to climb for PSV to get back into the tie. But they had a lifeline when Noah Lang scored from the penalty spot just before half time. We could have scored again just before the half. If I recall, it was Declan Rice with a shot just outside the 18-yard box, and it just went wide of the post. But it was a very, very good effort. So going into half time, I've just come off TikTok in a TikTok live in the game, and I did say to the guys on there that for us to just keep it going, we have to score early into the second half. And Captain Odegaard, Martin, he puts the ball in the back of the net 2 minutes into the second half, and then Trossard scored again a minute later, which effectively just put the tie to bed. And then it was all about what you can, and then it's all about what you can get from a bonus after that with Odegaard scoring again in the 73rd minute and Calafiori scoring in the 85th minute, which is basically kind of put this tie, um, kind of put it to bed. It's just it's a record-breaking Arsenal bonus. I think this is Arsenal's biggest victory. Sorry, um, in the Champions League. Um, Again, it was a very, very good performance, and it was a much needed morale boosting performance as well. Not just for the fact that you want to do well in the Champions League, but also from a general aspect as well, considering how things have been in the league as of late. We've kind of let that slip away. With Liverpool being very consistent with what they've been doing, and us kind of just dropping points when we should be picking up points when we haven't. So to come back into this one was very good. Like I said, the team done very very well tonight. Um, so very very smart, like good substitutions were made as well. In regards to, apart from, I'll get to Sterling in a minute, but I think the one thing that I think we all notice now, when it comes to substitutions, you have to know when to take someone off and when not to take them off. And in this case, yeah, it was there was a much needed, um, there was a much needed substitution which had to be made, with Lewis Skelly. He got a yellow card, halfway through the first half, and then he got booked to get, and then he got booked, and then within a few minutes he went in for a tackle, and I was convinced that the referee was going to take out the yellow card and give him a second yellow, and when he and even I, you guys know me. For those that know me, I'm very much neutral in these situations, and I'm like, I said straight away, he's very lucky to be on the pitch. Yeah, um, he got away with one. I know for a fact that if that happened in the Premiership, he probably would be off. Um, in some cases, in most cases, so he would be off. In other cases, if that happened any other part of the field, he would have been sent off as well. I think for the second yellow, but I think the referee kind of, I think he just, yeah, he got away with one. Let's not kid ourselves for this one. Um, so with that in mind, I said straight away, he needs to, if Calafiori is on the bench, yeah, put him on. Take Skelly off, because it's just gonna hurt. It's just gonna hurt us, and because guaranteed the game wouldn't have finished 7-1 if that had happened. Um, so that was good to. It was good to get that for the gaffer to actually take him off and bring Calafiori on, just to have that level headedness on there. Skelly, Lewis Skelly will learn from this. He's still young. He's still 18 years of age. 17, 18 years of age. He's still young. He's got a long way to learn. You always learn when it comes to football, and in this case, he's still very young. He's got a lot to learn. And in this instance, you got to keep your head level. But I've said that he's going to be one of those players where he's gonna. You've got to watch out for him. He's going to get a bit overexcited, and he might one tackle wrong, and it could lead to a problem. You're going to give the referee. You're going to give the referee a problem. So it's good that he got taken off, in that aspect. And Calafiori came on. He done well. He got his goal. He came on and steadied the ship, as it were, as well. Um, Good to see, good to see Ben White come back on again. Ben White's starting to slowly get back into play again, so which is always good to see. So he's starting to get back into the mix as well, which is great. Kieran Tierney came on as well, putting a little bit of a shift. I think we all know that he's gonna end up leaving now. I think he's gonna. There's been links that he's been heavily linked to go back to Celtic. Zinchenko came on. He could have scored actually, Zinchenko. Um, when I saw him coming, I thought, okay, let's not lose our heads here. You know, I can't fault Zinchenko's work rate and heart, but I think there's situations now where in the summer we have to say, you know what, maybe we need to start looking at alternative options to start to bring ourselves to the next level. Um, going forward again, like what I said a moment ago, Raheem Sterling. I, I've just seen what some of my boys have said in the group, and I don't know what he brings to the table in regards to his team and what he's doing. My boy Lewis, over in Canada, just he's basically said that he's a bust, as we say in the NFL. Any NFL fans out there would look at him and say that he's a bust for what he's producing. He's not really he's not producing anything. I don't know what's happened to him. He was good at he was decent enough at Man City. He was good when he was at Liverpool in his younger days. He showed signs of it at Chelsea, but with Arsenal, he's just not showed anything, and it's not worked out. And I think the sooner the season's done, the sooner he can go back to his respective club. It's something, it's just not worked, and it's unfortunate because we've got a winger like he's got him as a winger in the team when there's other wingers out there who are doing better than what he is and who we can bring who are better than that. and who can bring more to the team. So it's Raheem. You had a good career. You've won stuff, but it's not quite worked out with Arsenal, unfortunately. So yeah, it's time to kind of depart ways when the season's done. So it's not really worked out in that instance. But overall, again, going back to it, a good result, a very very strong result. It's sent out a message. I would have to say, um, for the second leg, and for who we play. If we well, I'm going to say if we go through, because I'm not nothing's set in stone. In the next round, we go through to the next round. We play the winners of Roma and Atletico Madrid. Real themselves won tonight by 2 goals to 1, so that ties very much the opposite from this tie. It's very very close, and the Madrid derby, is it's always hard. It's always a tough one when these two teams play, regardless of the results. So whoever we play in the next round is gonna be a tough nut to crack. So we have to be very sturdy of that one. So going forward, our next game is against Manchester United on Sunday at Old Trafford. I'm not saying that we should do the same thing to what we done tonight. Um, Again, I said in the group on TikTok Live, you know, let's not hold any grudges. Manchester United may not be doing very well right now, but they still got players in that squad that can hurt you, and they always seem to be up for it when they play against us. It's at Old Trafford as well, so it's not going to be it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be a walk in the park by any stretch of the imagination. Going into it, like I said, they are going to be up for it because it just reignites the rivalries from back in the day, going back 20 years, going back 30 years, 30, 40 years. So it's always a tough one when these two teams play each other. So we're more than capable if we go into it with confidence, then we're more than capable of going into the game to get a result. Um, I would say there's no pressure considering when I look at the league now, I just it's a fool's hope in regards to the Premiership title now. The best we can do is just be consistent in staying where we are, just trying to just hang on to the tiny little bit of the coattail of Liverpool. But I don't, me personally, I don't see it happening. But it'd be good just to keep that consistency, just to keep going. So yeah, let's go into the next game and do that. But we've got the confidence to do so. We're capable of doing so, like I've always said. But it's just a case of finding that next level to go up. So I've always said that this summer will be key. We need to bring in some players. We need to bring in some new acquisitions. We need to sell some players as well, in order to start a little mini rebuild. Because there are players in the team who are still decent enough and great enough to do well for us, but we just need to add a couple more ingredients to make this team start cooking properly, if that makes sense. So we'll see how it goes in that aspect. But in the meantime, it was a good result tonight, my fellow Gooners. Again, going into the second leg, which I believe is in a couple of weeks' time. I believe. Go to the Emirates to play these boys again. The one thing that they can't do is go into this game thinking that it's all done and dusted. That's the one thing I do not want to see, because as much as we've got a 6 goal lead, um, yeah, it's not something that we can really do. The best thing that we can actually do, ironically, is play the way that we played against Forest and just kick the ball around and just do that, just pass it around and just slow the game down like what we do, because they're the ones that have to chase. So we can just catch them on the counter and just finish them off that way. But I think PSV and their mindset probably think the game's over anyway, but we can't let them know that. So that second leg will be. I don't think it's going to be as entertaining as this one, but yeah. Anyway, but anyway, guys, that is another quick episode of my 2 cents. Again, if you're listening to me, listen on Podbean. If you're watching on Dino Away Days on YouTube, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please do share this out to everyone who you know. Like and get them to like and subscribe and follow. Follow me on my TikTok channel on my TikTok as well, which is Away Day Sports. And I'll see you guys on the other side. I have said, I know I've said before recently, before I went over to the States, that I was going to do a mock grading of all the teams in the Premiership this season, which I'm planning on doing. I've got to do some notes on that to see how they will go. I will say now, out of all 20 teams, 19 of them will get a grade. I'm going to grade them from A to D, but one team I'm not going to grade because, well, there's just no point. And I think we all know who that is, so I'm not going to even go there. But when the time comes, I'll get there with it. But I'm going to do a mock, and I'm going to give them a predicted grade for the end of the season, and then hopefully you guys will hear that, and then you can let me know what you think. But in the meantime, that is another edition of my 2 cents on the Way Day Sports. PSV Eindhoven 1, Arsenal 7. I will see you guys in the next one, which will be the next my 2 cents in after the game against Manchester United on Sunday. That game kicks off, I believe, at 4:30. It is on Sky Sports, and I think if you are listening in the United States, I believe it will be on either Fox or USA Network. I'm not too sure, but you have to just keep looking out on your local listings, as they say. But anyway, I'm Dino. This is away. This is away days, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, guys.